areas, Newton, Brookline, Boston, or even, out in the suburbs, if they have a well-established base and they're at that age where they don't really want to get new patients, they're really going to only accept Delta Dental or Blue Cross because they make the most money with those two dental plans. So, as a company, you have to take that in consideration too. Is like, all right, my employees don't really know this. They just know that, they get $1,500. Well, you want that $1,500 to spread out because you're getting a 35% discount when you're having that root canal versus a 12%.
Uh-huh. I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing you mentioned about, when a plan quote comes in this idea that you really have to dig deeper into the fine print, if you will. And this is one of the things we've heard. And I'm trying to wrap my head around, it seems for a group of our size or, a small group, if you will, there's not a whole lot that goes into quoting. It's just a standard formula based on the geography and the demographic of the group, if you will. So I'm trying to understand this aspect of leaving out certain services, or, you mentioned like a certain tooth filling could be left out of the plan, things like that. How much do you see that happening with Guardian and MetLife kind of,
Well, with our RFP process, we put right in there, we want to make sure that we have total white fillings, that there's annual open enrollment, that there's no missing tooth clause. And when we do get the quotes, sometimes the quotes don't come in saying that, so we go back to the rep and we'll say, need confirmation from you, XYZ, all these different things are included in your quote.
Uh-huh.
We'll come back and go, no, we missed the part about annual open enrollment. And what that means is if we put, say, MetLife in at full, and everyone enrolled, but there were a few people there that said, no, I'm on my wife's plan, I'm not enrolling. Come next year at open enrollment, they say, now I want to come on. Well, if you didn't have annual open enrollment, they're considered a late entrant. So they may not get type 3 services for 6 months or something like that.
Okay, interesting.
It's like a lot of things that you just have to make sure that they're in there. And sometimes the proposals don't pull all of these things out. So even though our RFP said this is what we want, we go back and we get it in writing that all of these things are included in this rate.
Yeah. Yeah. And, another thing you just touched on is you go back to the Guardian or MetLife rep, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of their relationship with you, one thing we've heard is that Guardian is very grassroots, and they have long-standing relationships with all their brokers and on a personal level, and that's one of the ways that they've been able to be successful, is kind of building these broker relationships. In terms of their presence out in the broker market, with someone like yourself, do you have any thoughts on how well, they're establishing those relationships, Guardian and MetLife both?
We're a small brokerage firm, so our philosophy is to find the right carrier, the right plans, the right rates, make sure that the carrier that we've chosen gives good service, because ultimately our goal is to make our client happy, the employees happy, so forth. So if you've noticed, I said everything about our client, the employees, and so forth. If you step back, there are bigger houses out there. There are national houses out there.
Yeah.
And they only go to a handful of carriers. They may do a full marketing for their clients, but they're going to show their client in a way who they want them to go with. And the reason that is because they're so big and they write with one or two carriers, they get huge bonuses.
Uh-huh. And, are those also called overrides? We've heard a lot.
Bonuses, and Guardian in the dental, life and disability area, it's the best way to put it. They're in bed with the huge houses. They have been for